today, not just because it's about my libraries, but because I'm really pleased to bring you greetings on behalf of Unison's 600,000 members in local government. What's happening in Lewisham is part of a pattern. In the last year, over 100 libraries in the UK have been closed. 14 million hours of library workers' time has been cut in the last 5 years, to be replaced with only 750,000 of, guess what, volunteers' time. And while those volunteers may be doing a great job, most of them would be regarded as employees under the law and should be being paid for what they're doing anyway. This Tory vandalism, these 40% cuts in local government funding are what is behind the library cuts in Lewisham. And we've got to look beyond the libraries as well to what we need to do about the cuts, about the austerity that the Tories imposed from 2010. Because it's no good saying that Lewisham Libraries can be funded from reserves. There aren't many reserves. And if you fund libraries from reserves this year, there's nothing left for adult social care, there's nothing left for libraries next year, there's nothing left for all the other services that our local residents depend on. What we need are politicians who are going to fight austerity in the council, in the parliamentary Labour Party, and in government. So what we need to do is a whole lot of things, but some of them are quite boring, but they're quite effective. If an MP gets 6 letters about Lewisham Libraries, they will think that's a lot of letters. So will a councillor. So everybody needs to write to their councillors and MPs and go to their surgeries. But more than that, we need to be fighting for a socialist alternative within the Labour Party. An alternative to the austerity-liked councillors that we have in Lewisham, with some notable and honourable exceptions, and an alternative to the austerity-liked parliamentary Labour Party. And we know who that person is. But we've also got to build a broad community campaign. We need people who aren't Corbynistas in our campaign. We need people who aren't on the left in our campaign. We need people from every walk of life, every part of our society, recognising that the cuts aren't necessary, they're not essential, and that while ordinary people are facing the end of their libraries, the richest 20% hold 120 times the assets of the poorest 20% in our society. This is a transfer of wealth from the poor, from ordinary people to the rich, and we have to fight it, and our library cuts, fighting our library cuts, are part of that fight. So within Unison, we have done a lot to support the library campaigns all around the UK, some of which have been successful. But we have to face the truth. If library campaigns are successful, then money goes from somewhere else, as long as we have austerity. So we have to combine our campaign with a wider campaign against the cuts and build it in our communities with as many people, as big a range of people as we can. And Unison, with our Save Our Services campaign, our library campaign, and our resources, are doing what we can to support our branches to work with communities to do that, and we will continue. Thank you.